Hey there, from the KUOW newsroom, this is Seattle Now. I'm Paige Browning with a roundup of today's top stories. It's Thursday, November 6th. Starting with another ballot update in the race for Seattle mayor. Challenger Katie Wilson gained on incumbent Bruce Harrell today. He now leads by 5.7 percentage points. Yesterday, Harrell led by about 8 percentage points. In the race for King County Executive, Gurmai Zahalai widened his lead today over Claudia Balducci. Zahalai now leads by more than 4.5 percentage points. Yesterday, he led by about 2. We'll continue to bring you updates as another ballot count will happen tomorrow. The former Human Resources Director at the Seattle Fire Department has filed a wrongful termination claim. As Amy Radel explains, she alleges that agency leadership failed to address unsafe behavior by employees.
Sarah Lee's claim lays out dozens of allegations, including a fire engine driver with open cans of White Claw in his locker and a female firefighter who faced harassment and found her uniform shredded by a box cutter. Lee says she was fired in retaliation for pursuing these cases.
And there is no incentive for the current command staff, both, uniformed and civilian, to change.
Lee says the command staff failed to address a toxic atmosphere for female firefighters and cited a staffing shortage as the reason to keep people on the job who committed misconduct. The Seattle Fire Department did not respond to a request for comment. Amy Radel, KUOW News.
The Professional Women's Hockey League just announced a name for Seattle's team.
Let's count it down together. Deal? Yeah. All right. 5, 4.
The city has the Seattle Kraken, Reign, Sounders, Seahawks, Mariners, and the Storm, and now the Seattle Torrent.
Say it with me. Let's go Torrent!
As the rain poured outside, hockey players announced their team's name and tossed out signed squishy pucks to fans inside Mopop. Dedicated fans at today's event were psyched. Colette Bowers was first in line to buy merch.
Yeah, like a torrential rain, something powerful. And I love this sort of aquatic wave theme because I think it's really easy to do cool styling around.
The Torrent season starts November 21st. In weather, Seattle just had its wettest day of 2025, and more rain's on the way for Western Washington. The National Weather Service says just over an inch of rain fell yesterday at SeaTac Airport, but we've still got some ground to make up. Seattle normally should have a little more than 28 inches of rain by this time of year. As of yesterday, we're just shy of 22 inches. But we could catch up over November and December, which tend to be the wettest months of the year. The likely next superintendent of Seattle Public Schools is a district leader from Michigan. The Seattle School Board made Ben Schuldiner the lone finalist for the open job last night. Schuldiner is currently the superintendent of the Lansing School District.
We're all in this together, and we have to break down the silos. We have to break down the walls. And so those first days are really going to be about learning the community, listening to the community, and helping to support the community.
Schuldiner says he plans to focus on getting to know the community and district staff during his first 100 days, rather than making drastic changes. He hopes this will address what he called historic community distrust in Seattle Public Schools. The hire isn't final till a contract is negotiated. That will also determine his start date. A mysterious foul odor in Seattle's South Park neighborhood has been frustrating residents for 2 months. As Ann Dornfeld reports, it forced the temporary evacuation of an elementary school.
People in South Park describe the stench differently, but most commonly as rotten eggs. The smell was so strong at Concord International School last week that the fire department worried of a gas leak and evacuated the building. At the Duwamish River Community Coalition, Executive Director Paulina Lopez says her organization and residents have complained repeatedly to the Puget Sound Clean Air Agency and other regulators, but that the problem has only gotten worse.
I think it's unacceptable completely for a community like ours that everybody talks about how we are impacted by different environmental threats, and 2 months is not acceptable for not being given a response. Would this happen in a community with more resources and wealth?
The Puget Sound Clean Air Agency said its inspectors are investigating the odor complaints and taking the issue seriously. Ann Dornfeld, KUOW News.
To Boeing news, a federal court in Texas has dismissed criminal charges against Boeing for 2 deadly 737 MAX crashes that occurred in 2018 and 2019. The district judge approved an agreement between the company and federal prosecutors today that ends the criminal conspiracy case. Boeing agreed to spend more than $1 billion on fines, safety investments, and compensation to victims' families. Many of those family members asked the judge in September to not approve the deal and instead to allow an independent prosecutor to pursue the case. 346 people died in the 2 crashes. Investigators found that Boeing did not tell regulators about changes it had made to software, which are now at the center of the crash investigations. Public records requests to the Washington Attorney General's office have doubled in the last decade. As Spokane Public Radio's Owen Henderson reports, the office has a new team to address the demand.
State Attorney General Nick Brown says rising mistrust in the government is partially fueling the increase in requests. Now, he's formed the Public Records and Open Government Unit to improve transparency. Brown says he also wants it to start changing the culture within state and local governments.
Not just being reactive to requests, but being proactive in how we can be more open. I think government has a tendency to sometimes try to limit access, and we just want to shift the framing of that.
This all comes after the state legislature voted this year to require that agencies anonymize whistleblowers and witnesses in investigations. Open government advocates are concerned that the extra burden on local officials could end up eroding public access to information. I'm Owen Henderson, reporting.
Finally today, affordable housing providers are asking the Tacoma City Council to exempt them from some parts of the city's eviction policy. Northwest Public Broadcasting's Lauren Gallup has this story.
Because of that policy, landlords in Tacoma can't evict someone for not paying rent between November 1st and April 1st. Nonprofits that provide affordable housing say that restriction is putting them underwater.
This initiative has made it untenable to provide affordable housing in this community.
That's Miriam Barnett. She has been serving as the interim CEO of the YWCA Pierce County. The YWCA owns one apartment building that provides affordable housing. Barnett says that because of unpaid rents there, the nonprofit is out about $150,000.
That's money then that we don't have to serve domestic violence victims because it has to come from someplace.
Tacoma City Council member Sarah Rumbaugh drafted an amendment to the policy that would exempt affordable housing providers. Rumbaugh will present her proposal at a meeting this week. I'm Lauren Gallup in Tacoma.
Next time on Seattle Now, it's Casual Friday. We'll talk about some new innovations from Amazon, including a new safety course for delivery drivers.
I slipped and I fell. They put you in a harness so that you didn't actually fall. But yes,
That must be scary.
I drove the simulated Rivian van onto sidewalks. Just let me tell you, do not give me this job.
Hear that Friday morning. That's all for today from the KUOW newsroom in Seattle. Our producer is Andy Hurst, and I'm Paige Browning. Seattle Now and KUOW are members of the NPR network. See ya.